Coming up on today's show, we are starting season 2 of Wake Up and Show Up Live. We have your love coach and author, Coach Cass, joining us. So stay tuned. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Wake Up and Show Up Live. I am your host, Portia Scott, and I am so excited to be back. It has been so long. It's only been about 2 weeks, but I have missed you all, darlings. So thank you so much for joining us. Listen, I'm so excited because we have a guest today. But before we get started, I want to know, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I am in Atlanta. I know a lot of people that are joining are from Atlanta and Texas, Connecticut. Paula, thank you so much for joining, darling. Chasmine, thank you so much for joining. Mommy, thank you so much for joining. Yes. We are in season 2, and I couldn't be excited enough. So one of the things that you guys know, what we always do is I always ask, what are you grateful for? Well, I'll tell you what I'm grateful for. Make sure you drop it in the comments what you're grateful for. One of the things that I'm grateful for is that when I started the Wake Up and Show Up podcast almost a year ago, we were planning at this time last year. I knew one thing that I wanted to do is that I wanted to impact humanity with stories. I wanted to weave together life's pivotal moments. I wanted to weave together those stories and how people show up. One of the things is that we wanted to impact humanity. And I'm grateful that we get the opportunity to do that through an organization called Caring for Girls. And so Portia Scott Media is now an ambassador for Caring for Girls. Caring for Girls is an organization that was started in Africa. And what they do is they provide girls with sanitary napkins and supplies that they need during their menstrual cycles. Listen, the research is pretty sad, and we don't understand that here in the US. I could never have thought about a time where, when I was growing up, or my daughter, my friends, or my sisters, that we ever had to worry about whether or not we would go to school because we didn't have our sanitary supplies. And so this organization, Caring for Girls, the research has shown that poor girls miss about 50 days of school just because they don't have what they need. I always say we may not be able to feed the 5,000, but listen, you can feed one. And yesterday on our Sunday show, we were able to raise $1,050. Our goal is $1,500 in 30 days. And so we are $450 away from our goal. And I want to ask you to help. So I am going to put a link in the comments that you can click on, and listen, for $21.99, you will be able to support just one girl for a year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? That's less than our coffee. Believe me, I know, because I am a coffee connoisseur. And if you come to my house, you will see all the coffee pots, all the coffee gadgets that my husband has and that we have. And so with your support, we can put girls back in school during their menstrual cycles. So that is what I'm grateful for. You guys tell me what it is that you're grateful for. Paula says, I am grateful for that Wake Up and Show Up Live with Portia Scott is back for season 2. You are so sweet. And our guest is on here. That's amazing. Yes. Rosetta says, hello, darling. Hello. Chasmine is watching from Peachtree Corners in Georgia. I am so excited. You guys know how we do. If somebody says something, if I say something, if someone in the comments says something that really speaks to you, what are you going to say? Hello, darling. That lets us know that we are on the right path. So listen, I want to go ahead and get into it because our guest is just amazing. It's so funny. She reached out to me and I began to read her bio and just search all of the things. And she is just doing amazing, amazing work. And I wanted to make sure that she was able to get in front of our audience. And so I want to tell you a little bit about today's guest, right? So, today's guest is a love coach for professional women. She is also the author of Princess Zara's Birthday Tradition, a book that she wrote for her daughter so her daughter could have a princess that looked like her. I'm going to let her go into the whole story. So, I'm just giving a snippet of what it is because we all want to hear the background of how that came to be. Also, the book became a #1 bestseller on Amazon within 3 days. 3 days, y'all. Who can do that? And so she is also on a mission to create a mainstream Black princess who all children love, changing the narrative through the eyes of our children. You guys, I want you guys to help me welcome to the show, Casandra, Coach Cass.
Woo! Thanks for having me, Portia. I'm so excited.
How are you?
I'm good, girl. I'm doing real good. Hello, darlings.
I am so happy to have you on the show. You know, one of the things we ask everybody that comes on the show is, what are you grateful for? So it is your time to answer that question.
I would say that I am grateful for the new awareness that our country and our world has when it comes to what we've been going through as a people, right? So I am absolutely grateful for the awareness, right? Understanding what our plight has been, and then now being able to amplify Black voices, so I'm really excited and I'm really grateful for the new awareness. That's my gratitude, y'all. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I love it. So listen, I want to go to some of the comments because this is my sister. She said, hello, Casandra. The energy. Yes. Isn't she giving us all the energy? I love it. Trey, he said, I have daughters. Thanks for organizations that care for girls. I'm grateful for people like you who care. Thank you, Trey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thaisin says, hello, darling. So you guys, Coach Cass, it's so funny because when you reached out, you talked about your book, right? And I'm like, okay, she's an author. But then I'm like, love coach. I've been married for 15 years. Beautiful. And my parents have been married for 40 years, so I've just seen it, but I've also seen the plight. So tell me a little bit about what a love coach is.
Okay. All right. So I'll share a little bit of my story, right, Portia? So I was dating a guy that I thought was the one. Anybody here ever thought somebody was the one before?
I have to say, before I met my husband, yes.
Yes, honey. So we traveled, we did business together. We just thought, I just thought that this was the one for me. And I remember getting a call one Christmas Eve from a mutual friend. He said, hey, are you sitting? I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? Merry Christmas. He said, yeah, that's not why I'm calling. You know that guy that you think is the one? He's married. Girl.
Oh, no.
Yes, exactly. So I was in a really dark place for a long time. I don't know about you, Portia, but have you ever gotten a call where you felt like the bottom fell out, whether it was regarding your finances, your faith, or your future? Ooh, child. So for me, I kept dating, but I kept dating the wrong one after the wrong one after the wrong. I'm like, okay, something's got to give. I'm cute. What's going on? So my defining moment came when I got like my 29th wedding invitation. You don't feel like everybody was getting married. Didn't matter the age, the weight, the race, the stage, nothing. So I said, okay, something's got to give. So I drew a line in the sand, but I drew it behind me, right? And I told myself that I'm going to look forward. I'm no longer going to judge myself on the past. I'm going to look forward and seek the help that I need because it wasn't working. And so even though you felt like they were giving out magic fairy dust, it wasn't landing over here, right? So even Peter, Ellen, and Maria weren't sharing their magic fairy dust. So I needed to go find my help. So I went to every marriage conference known to men as a single person, right? I interviewed couples that had been married for over 25 years and actually still liked each other. Because do you know some grumpy married people?
Right.
Come on. There's a lot of grumpy married people. And then I interviewed successful women that were successful in business and in love, because a part of me felt like you couldn't have the both of them at the same time. And I even sought my own professional help. So just along this journey, it became my magnificent obsession. I ate, I slept, I breathed in love books, relationship books, all the stuff, all the trainings I could find. And literally, it helped me to attract the amazing husband that I have now and our beautiful baby girl. But the thing that I noticed once I got married is that I realized there were so many professional women that kind of fell in two buckets. One was, I'm a pray and he gonna come, right? So my Boaz, he's coming. But if anybody random came to knock on your door, you wouldn't open it. And the only people knocking on your door right now is the Uber Eats guy and the Amazon Prime guy. So unless you're trying to marry him, it ain't working, right? And then on the other side is like, okay, I'm gonna focus on my career, my education, my PhD, and you're so focused on everything else but love, and love isn't happening. So there's a brand new lane where I believe that you can have the love that you want and be authentic to yourself. And no, it doesn't mean that you're desperate or thirsty or anything like that. We were hardwired just scientifically to have companionship. So there's nothing wrong with you to want companionship, but you still have to make love a priority, So what I do is I help women with self-love, attraction, and how do you sustain the relationship once you get it? Because you already know he gonna get on your nerves, right, Portia? Like,
right.
I prayed for this Boaz and this man, but now I got him. What about
now I'm kind of worried if this was what I right?
Exactly.
Kind of like when you get what you prayed for. And
exactly.
I love that. I love that. I think it's so important. But it's funny because when you think about Love Coach and you said you were an author.
Yes.
I was like, so she had to have written a book about love. And this book is Princess Zara's Birthday Tradition.
Yes.
And it was written for your daughter. I have a daughter, she's 12. And you talk a little bit about that. What brought this book to life or caused you to want to show up in this way and write this book?
Hallelujah. So, all right. So to all of my want to be authors out there, I want to say this to you because Portia mentioned that I hit Amazon #1, right? Bestseller. I put a sticky note on my bathroom door, Portia, in 2009 that I wanted to be a #1 bestseller. And I thought it was going to be a relationship book, right? I thought,
right.
I'm a love coach. It's going to be a relationship book. You know what I'm saying? And to now 11 years later to release a children's book and become #1 within 3 days, I had to remind myself that a dream delayed is not a dream denied, right?
Come on, that's so good.
Come on, a dream delayed is not a dream denied. So
hello,
for
darling.
any of you that, have that dream of becoming an author, whatever your dreams are, maybe this is the time to dust them off and say, okay, well, this is my season. This is the time. And if it doesn't happen exactly the way that you thought that it would, it's still a blessing, That's so that's really what I want to say. So now for the story of the story. So I didn't realize, Portia, when you become a mom, you become an event planner, right? Like I didn't know, right? So
right now, I didn't know that I was going to become a teacher. So yes, I get it. I get it.
So I didn't know when you get pregnant and have a baby, you are now officially the birthday party planner. And right. I got away with the first and second birthday because my baby's born on Thanksgiving around there. So
okay. So you were good.
Happy Thanksgiving, happy birthday.
Put it all together.
But now the third birthday was coming up and it's like, mommy, my birthday, and she was so excited about her birthday. And I told myself I would not throw her a party until she asked for one. And sure enough, she's 2 years old asking for a birthday party, but she was really into princesses, right? She watched 150 episodes of this one princess on TV, but I really wanted a birthday party that looked like her. So Portia, I went to every store, girl, trying to find every website, trying to find a beautiful, cute little Black princess. And so many people say, what happened to Tiana? Disney kind of missed the mark with that, right? So Tiana was a frog for 75% of the movie. And she came from poverty and she's also a teenager. So I really wanted a little Black princess and I couldn't find one. And then I just started to pay attention when I was on the television. All right, let's put on a Black character. I'm like, man, where's the 150 episodes of the equivalent of a little Black princess or somebody? Where is the princess? Because most little girls want to be a princess. And I just started to say, wait, our nation is so diverse. And this is pre-George Floyd and everything happening in our country now, right? So where's the representation? When she went to the doctor, she'd get a sticker and they say, baby, you did so good today. Here's a sticker of my favorite princess. And that sticker never looked like her. When I wanted to get her pajamas at the store with a little black character on it, I couldn't find it. I found a pig. I found a purple vampire, but I surely did not find a little black anybody. So I said, okay, I'm going to create a character, just my baby girl. I'm going to put it on her wall. So I went out to lunch with my girlfriend, her husband, my husband, and her. And I'm showing her the princess. I'm like, all right, baby, what do you think about Princess Zara? What do you think? She looks at her hand and she looks at the princess. She looks at her hand and she looks at the princess. And she said, Mommy, I don't want this one. I want the other one. I want the white one. Now, my girlfriend I went to lunch with, she was actually white. She started crying. I was tearing up. I said, I didn't know it was that deep, though. I didn't know it was that deep because I pride myself in having a diverse community. I'm Jamaican, so it's out of many one. People, look, I'm light, right? You don't know what I am, right?
So my husband's half Jamaican too. So
so we're a little bit of everything. So I'm just like, okay. So that took me back to that black doll versus white doll test back in the day of how all the kids chose the white doll as better, prettier, smarter. I really don't think it was because their parents sat down and told them that, Portia. I really think it's because you just didn't see it. And unfortunately, we are decades later and you still don't see it. And I know for the moms and the aunties that are watching right now, when you look for something for a brown-skinned child, you know how hard it is to find something. You got to go digging. It's not just first click, right? Up to 2 days ago, I was looking at the streaming services and I'm just like, man, this is still really rough. So I am on a mission. I'm on a big mission to create a mainstream cartoon featuring Princess Zara and her Jamaican pup Ziggy. And
I love it.
This book is just the first step. You know?
Oh my goodness. I love that. You know, I know we talked when I put it in there. Oh, I love it. And yes, so Ella, I know I said happy birthday yesterday. Happy birthday again, love. She said it's so deeply ingrained in our culture. And it really, really is. And it's true how you said not everybody is sitting down and saying this is the better doll, but that's all they see. You know, I remember when my daughter was younger, and I'm telling you, she would take me to the bank with American Girl doll. And yes, they would have dolls of color, but the girl of the year was never a black girl. And I think when they did have one, she was a historical doll. And she was a little bit like dressed like a slave, you know, for lack of a better word. She had on kind of the apron and all of this stuff. And so you know, we would spend all of this money. These dolls were like almost $200 and you would spend all this money. I mean, forget about it. We got the twins. The twins were actually Latin, you know, and so, but to find a black girl, a black doll that looked like her was hard. And we were spending good money and girl of the year. So every year we'd be like, this is the year for a doll that looked like her. And the reason why it is so important is because that when she sees that doll, she sees the beauty. She sees the diversity. She sees the culture. She sees that she's smart and intelligent. And while these are princesses and dolls, but you can be anything. And so seeing yourself in those industries and those things makes you say, I can be this. I mean, we can look at it even as Black women, you know, and writers and hosts and being on TV, you know, yes, we see it, but we don't see it nearly as much. And so sometimes we can draw back and say, well, maybe my message isn't important. And I'm 40 years old. So 40,
girl, you look good. All right. So I have a sad story for you, Portia. So I was recently tagged in a video of a little girl who's 4, brown-skinned girl who's 4, who went to school because, you know, daycares are still open and went to school. And the little white kid said, we are white and you are poop, based on the color of her skin. And she came home crying and her mom posted the video of her crying saying, Mommy, I don't want to go back to school until I'm white. Wow. This is what 4-year-olds in our country have to deal with. So for me, it just gave me even more of a fire. Every time I share that, I get goosebumps of why it's important for all children to have this book. So it's not just for our little Black girls to love this princess, but for the white, the Hispanic, the Asian, other to be able to love a little Black princess. Think the Black princess is cool,
Right.
you know?
That's so right. It changes the narrative of society. You know, I love this. So Michael was, him and his family went to Ecuador as missionaries. He said, I was so shocked to see, even in Ecuador, all the baby dolls were blonde hair, blue eyed.
Wow.
In Ecuador. And so, like you said, everybody's seeing that princess, seeing Zara and Ziggy, you know, and all of the flair that they have, right? Because I think sometimes, you know, you talked about Tiana, it was Princess Tiana, and, you know, anyway, it was in, you know, Louisiana. And yes, we know all the background, but it was very much like witchcraft and and all of this stuff. And I'm like, this was almost scary depending on how young your child was, right?
Very scary.
And so it was like 75% she's a frog. And so I thank you. Thank you for that. Melissa, oh my goodness, thank you so much for joining, darling. She says she just ordered the book. Thank you, and I love you. And so it's everybody coming together to buy this book and to show the different facets of just who we are, and especially as Black people, being able to see that. So I absolutely love that. You know, one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit is talk about your current fundraiser. I know at the beginning, I talked about the money that we're raising for Caring for Girls. And so talk a little bit about the fundraiser that you're doing and the reason behind that.
So I got an update for you, girl.
Yes.
We raised $10K in less than 10 days.
No way.
Yes, we did. Oh we did it. Yes.
And was that your goal?
Yes, that was the goal. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So people can still like donate through the page to support a little girl in need with a Princess Zara birthday set. So if you go to zaraandziggy.com, you could click on where it says donate, and they could donate through PayPal to help us go above and beyond. But essentially, we were seeking to reach over 500 girls to be able to have a birthday set that looks like them, right? And what's beautiful about this, Portia, is that I wasn't planning on doing anybody's birthday set, okay? I wasn't. Okay, it was going to be the book, and we working on a cartoon. Like, that's it. Bam, 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 right? And I had a mom reach out to me like, okay, my baby's birthday's coming up. Where's the birthday set? I was like, oh. Okay. But, you know, a big part of this book is around giving back. You know, the storyline is around her being a princess, and for her birthday, the tradition is to spread the love, and she gives books to children in need at a local school. So it's all around giving, and giving is better than receiving is pretty much the crux. So to tie it all in, we did this fundraiser, or are doing this ongoing fundraiser to be able to sponsor organizations that serve girls, and then also girls in need that you can nominate. So between now and July 31st, you can nominate a little girl or organization that serves girls to get the Princess Zara birthday sets. And for those of you that are like, oh, I want it for my girl or for a girl that I know, understand that this is the set itself is not just for Black girls. Okay, because then that also helps to change the narrative, right? So think about it. My daughter, who is brown skin, can wear a Princess Elsa dress and put on the blonde ponytail and be like, I'm Elsa, I'm Elsa. So what about a white girl, a Hispanic girl, an Asian girl being able to put on the Princess Zara dress and say, I'm Princess Zara, with the same enthusiasm, being able to create equity in the eyes of our parents and our children is huge, because right now it's weird, right? It's weird if, you know, a little white girl dresses up as a little Black princess. I'm not saying to put on black skin or black makeup, right?
What you're saying,
put on a pink dress, right? And maybe some curly hair. And that's okay, because look, we attach everything to our own hair, right? So being able, because I get this sometimes, oh, what about cultural appropriation? I'm like, if people are celebrating us, I don't see that as an issue. That's my own belief, Portia. It's like, how do we create equity if we keep attacking people for embracing our culture and who we are?
Right.
Like, you still give kudos to it being our culture.
And I think that's the part is with the cultural appropriation is taking something as your own that doesn't belong, you know, and not giving that credit, right? Saying, oh, we created this when that's not true, because we could go back
Mhm.
400 years
Mm.
where certain things started. But I think it is true that you, as a white girl or Hispanic, that you can wear a dress with a black princess, right? With Princess Zara on it, and
Mhm.
maybe the ponytails or the curly hair, the
Mhm.
same way that we wear, we dress our kids up in the current princesses that there are.
Ariel, right? They could put on the red Ariel wig.
Absolutely.
That's fine,
And
right?
I think it's a conversation starter. I'm pretty sure, it's a conversation starter with kids and with parents. And so, what is your ultimate goal with this book? Like, what is your ultimate mission, Coach Cass, for this book?
Literally, I know I would have made it when Halloween comes around and all the kids want to be Princess Zara. Like, seriously, changing the narrative to the fact where it's normal for all children to be like, Princess Zara is so cool, or Mommy, Princess Zara's on, yay! And it's like all the kids are excited about her, just like they do Paw Patrol and Peppa Pig, and it starts young. Harvard studies show that traces of racism start as early as 3 years old. So my demographic is a very tiny demographic. We're talking about our
Right.
itty
Itty
bitty,
bitty ones.
because that's where it starts. So now when you start to think of, not orange is a new black, but black is a new black, and a little black girl is cool, that helps to change the narrative of how our children see our children, okay? And how our
Oh,
children
that's so
see
good.
ourselves, right? So being
Yeah,
able to change that narrative, I really think starts with this cartoon, with
I
this
love
book
it.
series, with getting all the stuff.
Right. I love it. Coach Cass, one of the things that we talk about on this show all the time is being intentional,
Mhm.
right? We talk about being intentional. And the fact that you wrote on that sticky note, what, in 2009, you said that you
2009.
were going to be an author. So I just today, I think if there's so many takeaways, but if there's one, be intentional,
Mhm.
and putting that out, that confession that we talked about, those declarations that we talk about get you a sticky note right now and write that dream. If you had a magic wand, or if you could just snap your fingers and this would be it, write that down today, because she really is the epitome of saying a dream. And I think it's important that it happened years later, because we're so used to saying, I'm going to write this sticky note that I'm going to have 500 million in the bank. And then tomorrow, if it doesn't come, tomorrow, if you don't have the resources, if you don't have this. And honestly, I mean, it wasn't like you were a journalist and you had been backed, like it's a Simon and Schuster, you got the check first. You did all that. And so I think that's so important. So I acknowledge you for that. Thank you for that, because it helps us seeing these stories, weaving together life's pivotal moments. That moment when your daughter said, I don't want that one. I want the white one, and you showing up for not only her, but every young girl, and especially every Black girl, every brown girl that doesn't see it, in mainstream. And so thank you for that. But I do have, it's so funny. Let's see. His timing is not our own. So glad to see him working in your life. God, absolutely. Absolutely. And so much has happened, Coach Cass, all the stuff that you do. And so I ask people this all the time. You've accomplished everything that you want. It's Halloween and you were seeing every single little girl with their Princess Zara dress. They want Princess Zara. They're buying dogs and naming them Ziggy. All of this stuff had happened, everything that you could imagine. What are you most proud of?
Wow. I'm proud that I answered the call. I'm proud that I answered the call. Now, Portia, are you trying to mess up my makeup? I think you're trying to mess up my makeup. Um, like when God calls you to do something, and sometimes you're like, no, that's not how it's supposed to look. Like I was hell bent on doing a relationship book, and it took a mentor of mine that says, no, you need to do the children's book first. And I said, well, isn't that confusion in my brand? And that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. All the things of what other people will say. And she's like, no, this is the time, and this is the book, and this is before all the craziness that's going on in our world, and just looking at God's timing of everything. I would say I'm most proud of walking in my calling. Yeah.
Girl, you know, these lashes, let me tell you something. You cannot be crying in these lashes, but I think it's so, Paula said, I love your transparency, Coach Cass. People want real people. And I love that you said, you know what? The children's book didn't even line up with your brand, but in so many ways it did
Yeah.
because you're the love coach. And yes, you help professional women look for love, find love within themselves.
Mhm.
This is the epitome of love, of
Mhm.
allowing some little girl to see herself and to love herself. How awesome is that? That you have started this love fest at such a young age with so many young girls, you know, because we see it. When we have issues in love, loving ourselves, it didn't start yesterday. It
No.
started when we were the wee bitty little girl, you
Mm.
know, that 3-year-old that was at the birthday party and nobody looked like her and none of the decorations looked like her and she felt like she didn't belong but didn't have verbiage. You have just given us verbiage for that. So
Mhm.
thank you so much, Coach Cass. This was amazing. So my mom said love today's show.
Thanks, Mom.
I want you guys to go to Zara and Ziggy, get that book. Once we're done, I am going to get me a book with Zara and Ziggy. I think it's important. So I actually have, my daughter is 12. She's older now. But I'm going to have her read that book. And I also have a 6-year-old son. And I think it's important
It's
that he
coming.
reads that book so that he can see it as well, you know. So yes, I'm going to get the
Yes,
book.
it's for boys and girls. It's a good message, period. Mhm.
Right. So how can we keep in touch with you, Coach Cass? How can we find you, hang out with you?
Oh, come hang out with me. Hey. Okay, so go to zaraandziggy.com and you'll find everything, right? So you'll be able to donate. You can pre-order your birthday sets for kids you love in the next. I know you know a child having a birthday in the next 365 days, right? So yeah, right. So if they're pretty much between the ages of 0 and 12, it applies, right? What happens? Instagram, Facebook, all the things. I'm at Inspire Many. Yeah. There you go. So I'm at Inspire Many on IG. Facebook is at Coach Cass. So yeah, my website is inspiremany.com and you could kind of see everything that I have going on. Like I have a Manifest Your Man masterclass coming up in 2 weeks.
I saw that.
Okay. Hey. Let's go,
Coach
ladies.
Cass, we have to have you back on the show to talk about the relationship piece to this, the love piece to this, you know? I know a lot of people listen, they are already married, but I think it's important that love piece of loving yourself you talked about and just maintaining that within relationships. So we definitely have to have you back. Thank you so much for gracing us today. I am so appreciative. Val said, I'm going to get one as well.
Oh, but nominate. We need you to nominate some organizations, guys. So also
okay. So tell us about that a little bit.
So when you go to Zara and Ziggy, you'll see the link and pretty much it's a jot form. So you could forward it to the organizations that you know to nominate themselves, or you can nominate them. So pretty much think of any giveaway that you know. It's the whole creative video of saying why Princess Zara is something that your organization needs, or you know, whatever organization you're supporting, or a child, whatever, you know. So pretty much that's the crux of it. Nominate a child or organization that serves girls. And so right now is the submission process, and then by September they'll get their birthday sets.
Oh, that's exciting. And then we could also donate even if we don't know someone, but it will go to a girl in need. Okay. Perfect. I'm definitely going to do that. Thank you, Coach Cass. It was a pleasure to have you on. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Portia. You rock,
Thank
darling.
you. You rock, darling. Thank you. You guys, that was so much fun. I could not have scripted that, but I knew that it was going to be an incredible interview. You guys, I have missed you guys so very much. So there has been a couple of changes, right? This is season 2. And what we're doing is we're actually doing Mondays. So we are going live Mondays, where I know we were doing a daily show, but in order for me to bring you the content that you love at the excellence that I want to bring it to, I had to break it down into just once a week. And so hopefully you guys know Daryl, my executive producer, hopefully he'll be able to produce some other ones during the week, but we'll see how that goes. But we will be here every single Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. On July 20th, we are moving over to YouTube. That's something that we had talked about right before we went on break, is because YouTube gives us the opportunity to, one, scale our platform, be able to reach people who may not be on the social medias, as they say, but they can still hear the content and still want the content. And so we want to ask you to follow us on YouTube at Portia Scott Media. Portia Scott Media. You'll be able to see the live shows that way and everything. So what I ask that you do is go over, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. And so on July 20th, we will be moving over there. So this show will be there, as well as Wake Up Well. Your weekly COVID-19 update will also be shown on that platform. This is a really, really good thing for us. So you guys, I want to make sure that you head over to YouTube and that you subscribe to Portia Scott Media. You guys know one of the things that I love is giving you a little bit of inspiration. And if you have not had any inspiration today, I don't know what you are doing. But one of the things that I always ask, and you guys know I end with this as well, is I always want to share a quote with you. And so this was actually Coach Cass's favorite quote, and it says, "Done is better than perfect." Sheryl Sandberg. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you guys next Monday. I will see you guys on Sunday if you watch the show. Also, I want you to head over to Wake Up and Show Up, the podcast, on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. We have a new show that was out. Episode 40 is with Letseho Zulu. She's an author. And she wrote a book called I Choose to Live: Life After Losing Gugu, who was her husband, who passed away on Mount Kilimanjaro. And the story is not just about loss, but it is recovering after any loss. And she gives some incredible, incredible nuggets. She shares her story of adventure, of love, of loss, and how do we become resilient after that? Whether it's a loss of a loved one, a loss of a job, a loss of a career, feeling like a dream is lost, feeling like you've put that sticky note down and you're not seeing the fruits of your labor. It's the resiliency in that and what that brings. And so I want each and every one of you guys to go and take a listen. Now, listen, we end every single episode with this declaration: waking up is automatic. Showing up is intentional. Today, I will show up. See you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.